Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Perry here. And I just wanted to go ahead and get started this morning. Got a little day off here midweek on a Wednesday, who would think? So yeah, I'm off today. Figured let's go ahead and share some progress where we're at with the Nano aquarium. As you can see, the design is relatively shallow. So I think this tank was really going to be begging for, sort of like an Acro dominant setup from the get-go. Little update: there is still a little bit of that haze. I thought I got it all out, but it's not going to be too bad. I decided I'm just going to go ahead and just like move forward with it. Right now, I'm just running it with tap water. I have pretty much completed the entire project less than livestock. So really at this point, we're going to first just jump into sort of the setup, and then we'll jump into all of the equipment, and yeah, we'll kind of break this down step by step. Okay, so what spawned the idea? I pretty much got out of the hobby. Had a really nice aquarium that was over here, and look, at that time, very much overwhelmed. I really was just not happy with overall with the tank, so I felt like it was time for a change. And back in the industry now, and because of it, I feel it's kind of important to have some sort of small little aquarium that I can refer to. And so I was just like, well, I've got all this stuff. I'm never going to be able to get top dollar for any of my equipment. And I can pretty much do the whole entire project for next to nothing. So I figured, all right, well, let's go ahead and let's do a small scale. So at first I was like, let's do an A-can tank. And then after talking to Matt, he's like, man, that's a shallow tank. He's like, you're really good with Acros. I've got so many, that you pass over to me. And yeah, let's get you up and running. Let's create some redundancy. And I like that. So the idea was sort of brought up, and as I was putting this together, I looked at it and I'm like, I'm just going to remove these panels. And then I got deeper into it, and then I said, okay, I see this actually going somewhere. So you can see it's a small footprint, but I like it. It's going to be reasonable, something that I can have all in one cabinet. Right now, I've got it on the Eco Plus down here. So that's my main power switch. So it goes from the wall into the Eco Plus. Delta 2 right here. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but what a hell of a backup system. So then that goes down this wall here, and then back into here is my main power source. So that's on a UPS. So basically that entire power strip never loses power and reverts to the battery in the event that the power is lost here at the house. So I can even have the heater. I'll have everything tied in. The only thing I'm not going to tie in to this main plug right here, which it's already occupied. That top plug doesn't work. So that one installed backwards too, mind you. Yeah, so that's running the reef breeders from the wall. And then this is on the UPS off the Eco Plus. And believe it or not, right now though, the power, the main pump, the EcoFlow or the Ecotech MP10, and then another power head here, the return pump, and I think that's pretty much it. That's all that's attached right now. Is only drawing like 39 total watts. So yeah, low power. Anyway, so as we back off, you can see that this design is quite organized. Again, I'm going to try to keep the amount of plug-in attachments, power attachments, as minimal as possible, so there won't be any type of monitoring on this. I do have the temp and the heater probe that goes into, into that right there. But that's the only thing monitoring. So I'll get a temperature readout here, and then that's my top-off pump. And that's like a Milwaukee, I forget the model number, but it's a very slow, it's only 25 ml per minute or something like that. It's really, really slow. And then I've mounted the 3-channel doser, and you can see the dosing lines. I've kind of prefabbed this top out of a piece of plastic I had laying around, so I made a little top to, cut down on the micro bubbles and the salt spray and so forth, even though there's not salt. And then you can see, just real simple, guys. And a lot of this stuff was on the cheap. And so one thing I want to talk about with this channel here is how many people get a system going and they've now put into something like this. They've already got $5,000 into something like this. And, after they got the monitor with the Apex and all these different gadgets and whatnot, I've even seen some go as far as like a calcium reactor. And all of these things really unnecessary. So you see, I don't even have a lot of stuff plugged in right now, and it won't be for a while. I do have a skimmer coming. That's going to be the Curve. I want to say the Curve 5 or Curve 3. I don't know. I think it's the one that does a max bioload, heavy bioload of 50. I want to say it's the 5, the Curve 5. Anyway, that'll drop down in that sump right there in the front, and then the ATO right here is just a little 5-gallon tank that was on special at PetSmart. So it was like $10 or $12 for that tank. And then I used the 10-gallon, as you can see right here, and that's my sump. So again, all this equipment was laying around, including the Reef Breeders Light, including the tank that was already drilled, that was used as a frag tank at one point. So it just required me to do some plumbing, do some, mods and things like that to the tank, clean it up, and voila, I've got a cool little setup. Now, is this something that's going to be like, eye dropping, showstopper type scenario? No, it's not, and I don't really care. But what I want to do is I want to show you guys, us together, we're going to do this like build out. And you're going to be able to see in this build out that we can do this and not have to break the bank. And so I've got some rock that's coming from Matt. We're going to be doing an instant cycle. This will be running with a probiotic method. I'll be using the Protobio, the ampules for running the carbon bacteria source. I'll be using Cyperax as a biomedia down in that chamber down there. On the return line with some carbon and a filter sponge. And it's simple. No pumps, no reactors, no nothing like that. Maybe just a skimmer is the only thing left to plug in. And then the temperature and the heater probe. And boom, we're off and running. And, I'm thinking once I get the sand in here and I get some life going, this is going to be looking really, really sweet. And again, I was able to get with Matt and get some of my rock back, or some of his rock, whatever. It's in the sump. It's been cooking a long time. And so that's rock's going to be ready to go. I could technically bring everything over and load it on in this weekend if I really wanted to push the envelope. And while I'm being nudged to do so, I'm trying to hold off. But as I continue to sort of think about this, I'll have everything ready by this weekend anyway. So stay tuned. We may just be, by this time next week, I might have a video with, Acros already mounted in the tank and fish swimming around, and an instant cycle. And it is very doable, especially if you're getting rock and coral. Alan Vo was really getting into the topic when he was building that concoction of halobiont bacteria, and how each coral sort of has their own personal aura, bacteria field if you will, around them. So when we bring in 15, 20 pieces of acros all at once with fish and all that slime and everything together with rock and seeded water, and we put it into this tank, I'm pretty certain that it's going to be an instant cycle. There's not even going to be any cycle at all. So yeah, you're here to see, us question sometimes what we've been taught, to try to push the envelope a bit. And yeah, that's what this is all about. And to, let you know that, we don't have to be 5,000 in on this aquarium. Right now, I am, I had my own equipment, in all fairness, but, you could source all this stuff here locally. You could get it used. You could go to a small little pet store and get the little aquariums. The pump came with this all-in-one. The plumbing. I mean, you could really get in on something like this for like $400 or $500, and including the light, if you were to be shopping around, locally on, Marketplace or something like that. And boom, you got yourself put a little time, a little energy, a little work into it, and you don't have to be 5,000 in right now for a 40-gallon tank. And you don't have to have $2,500 in lights. This light is all that I'm going to need. I'm going to be able to grow anything literally out of the water. So stick around. We're going to have a lot of fun with this build, guys.